Hey guys, welcome to Nerdify Podcast. We're going to be your host today. This is James.
Hey.
And I'm Regie.
Hello.
And just to kind of give you an overview of the podcast, it's just kind of going to be about anything we like, pop culture, comic books, games, whatever we feel is kind of cool and we want to talk about. We'll kind of talk maybe more about the content at the very end. And so to kind of start out every show for at least now, what we'd like to do is, so we have this soda shop right down the street.
It's called Rocket Fizz.
Yeah, and they sell some weird stuff. And so we would like to try out the sodas as time goes by, let you kind of know how they taste, because we're probably
which ones to avoid and which ones to definitely try.
Yeah, so the ones we have today are, mine's a little more subdued. It's a strawberry rhubarb, so that's not too weird.
And I may have shot myself in the foot by picking out Lester's Fixins buffalo wing sauce soda. And the reason I may have shot myself in the foot is because we have vowed to attempt to finish the sodas by the end of the show, no matter how terrible they are. And we just made that up after I chose my soda. So, it's going to be interesting.
We'll see how that goes. But, okay, so I guess we should go ahead. Open
Yeah. I'm kind of. Do I need to shake this before opening? To shake well?
Probably not.
No. Mine was twist off.
So, they came off pretty easy. Okay.
All right, let's. It smells like tangerine.
Well, this is pretty fucking good. That's actually really good. I like that.
Kind of disappointed
about how not terrible it is.
It's got some spice. Yeah,
Really?
It's not savory at all like I expected it to be with buffalo wing sauce, but it tastes like tangerine, but with some like cayenne pepper or something in it.
So it's like a Mexican soda.
It's closer to like
spicy.
it's closer to like a cream soda type thing, but with some spice in it. Which I don't like cream soda, but you tried?
Yeah, I mean this is good. It kind of almost just tastes just like a strawberry soda. It's not super sweet or anything.
It's not bad.
Huh. That is a little disappointing.
Yeah.
It does have some weird spice in it. That
I actually don't know what rhubarb tastes like, so yeah, I'm tasting the strawberry in this.
I've had a strawberry rhubarb pie like maybe once. Yeah, that's. I mean, it's disappointing because you would think it would be absolutely terrible.
I was expecting it to
but
be.
But it's. Don't get us wrong. I don't think it's a good soda at all.
No,
I would
it's
never
not
be
great.
like, you guys want one of these? They're great. No, they're terrible.
It's definitely a conversation piece, like something you whip out like somewhere, like at a picnic or something, just to be funny, and then drink it, and don't tell anybody like what it tastes like. They just think you're weird.
Some people, they gotta match like their hat with their shoes with their shirt, and like sometimes you gotta match your soda with your food.
Yeah, if you're having buffalo wings, just bust this out and be like, I go all out. Go hard or go home.
Yeah. So that one for me, it'd be a try once thing, just to kind of be like, all right, that's cool. This
Okay.
I could see having every once in a while.
I have a better analogy for how this tastes. Have you ever, eat a popsicle, it's on a wooden stick, and you get to the end, you don't want to get up and throw it away, so you just have the stick in your mouth. It has like that wood taste. If you we have like the tangerine popsicles in there.
Right.
So I'd finish it and have it in my mouth, and I'd just be sitting there like playing a game, like just sucking on the stick, and it would taste kind of like fibery, like woody. And this is what this tastes like. It tastes like that popsicle stick.
Well, you heard it here, folks. If you want something nice and woody,
Yeah.
get that buffalo sauce.
It gets worse as you go.
It's a challenge.
Anyway,
okay.
let's
So,
move on.
The first thing that we wanted to talk about was Wonder Woman. That came out just about...
We saw it opening night, right?
Yeah, so about a week ago.
Had to been, yeah.
And so we saw opening night.
Excuse me.
And then
So
I
sorry.
actually saw a second. Ooh, excuse me. A second time.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great show.
So classy. So I saw it a second time a few days later, and even the second time, I have to say it stood up really well. Like the parts of, we'll try not to. Same thing, spoiler in case anybody hasn't seen it yet.
I definitely agree that it is the best DC film since Dark Knight. I had a lot of fun in it. I was really iffy on the actress's name. What's her name? It's a weird name.
Oh,
something Gadot.
Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot, yeah. Like when they first announced her, I was super iffy on it because she didn't look anything like classic Wonder Woman, like super pasty white and the
super small.
black hair.
Yeah,
small. Yeah,
she was in some movies. Like I think she was in the Fast and Furious films.
Yeah,
at one point.
Yeah.
But I haven't really seen any of those since like the second one, so I really don't know.
But I have to say, upon seeing the movie, she killed it. I thought she did an amazing job.
Yeah, wasn't she a supermodel before she was an actress?
Yeah,
yeah.
she was.
See, I had no idea that she was in films before this. I know that she had got cast, and I heard that she was a supermodel. And I was like, great, that's a smart idea. Get someone pretty and probably not a good actress. But I guess she's been in the acting world for a little bit now, and yeah, she did an amazing job. I mean, just really took on the role of Wonder Woman and made it feel like a fresh new character. And because you can kind of compare it to maybe like Christopher Reeve's Superman. Whenever he did Superman, you really felt he was Superman. You didn't feel he was an actor trying to play Superman.
Right. Yep.
Unlike what's his name in the new films, he's not working. Y'all can Google it. So, he doesn't really work, but Christopher Reeves really embraced the Superman role, and you felt his, not innocence, but his hope for humanity, because Superman really pushes for the good in humanity, and Wonder Woman does the same thing. She pushes for the hope and the love of humanity.
Right. Yeah.
And you can definitely sense that she was all about that, totally 100% into it.
One thing I still can't really get over is the fact that she just looks like a Kardashian to me. Like I feel like I just something about that. It's off-putting. But her as Wonder Woman, like her as an actress, that's what I feel. But her as Wonder Woman, I feel like she totally just owned the role, did a great job. She's now Wonder Woman for me, actually,
right.
Instead of the older one, super pasty skin, the black curly hair for some reason.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that was the style back then, but
that was weird.
But now she is movie Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was nice to see that they actually took time to develop the characters. And even though they had a romance in it, they really fleshed out both characters up, and the chemistry between her and Chris Pine was great. It really, none of it felt forced. It felt very natural, and they characterized enough to make you care about both characters. So there was that, and then of course, if it was going to be a bad movie, it was going to have way too much action. It was just going to be nothing but action, much like BVS. There was a lot of action, I don't even know if I want to say there was a lot of action. There were a lot of dead points in that movie. A lot of points where it just kind of dragged, and not enough characterization of anybody. Superman's too moody. I mean, I think Batfleck was amazing.
I did too.
I think he played. A lot of people have a problem with him, and I get he kind of unnecessarily killed a lot of people, but he was supposed to be playing an older, more grizzled, tough Dark Knight.
I feel like people had a problem with Batfleck because of the Fleck half of Batfleck. I like Ben Affleck. I do. I like him as a person. He's a good person. And I like him as an actor. I don't have a problem with any of it.
Yeah.
So I was super stoked.
I think the hang-up that people had about Batfleck was that whenever they think of Ben Affleck, they think of, his really older kind of shitty movies where he wasn't a great actor. He's kind of blah. But, the reason I had hope for him that I really felt he could do a good job is because not only is he now a very good director, he has 2 Oscar-winning films, but in those movies he played a character and he played them very well. And so I had hope, and he turned out to be a really good Batman. Kind of sucks because I think recently I've heard that, he was going to direct the Batman movie, but now he's not. And then he was like totally fine making a few movies, but now he's just like, I just want to do the Batman movie and then the Justice League movies, and that's it. So.
Oh, funny. So we're on the subject of Ben Affleck as Batman. Funny story. I listen to a lot of Kevin Smith's podcasts. So this story that came up, and it cracked me up because Kevin was telling a story about right after Ben did Daredevil. I think he was talking to Kevin on the phone. They was discussing something about a script that he was doing with Kevin, and they started talking to him about the Daredevil movie. And right at the end of it, he was like, "Dude, I will never ever be in another movie where I have to be in a rubber suit ever again." And now he's Batman.
But it's Batman. You can't turn it.
Yeah, right.
I mean, they're giving you the choice.
If I wanted to be Batman, if I was going to offer to be Batman, I don't care how to do it.
But anyway, back to Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
So, we were talking about how BVS just really didn't characterize, like, Wonder Woman was, like, basically almost unnecessary and non-existent in that movie. She was just kind of there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I absolutely hated how they just kind of threw in Cyborg and the Flash and Aquaman.
Right, yeah.
They were just like, how are we going to sneak these characters' cameos in here? Oh, I don't know, a stupid computer file that someone's going to open up and have random videos of. Mm-hmm. I thought that was absolutely unnecessary. People kind of already had an idea. I don't think.
Well, no, see, that was
much more.
I see where you're coming from, but I also understand why they did it. And it's because of my position on comics. Like, you're way more into comics than I am. I like comics, but I'm just starting to get into comics. So I'm more on the outside than you are, and that's for people on the outside like me. Like, I know who the Justice League are, but I'm enough on the outside where anyone further out than me would not. So it's sort of just kind of hinting at this. So they see all these characters, and maybe they don't know who the Justice League is. Did they mentioned that in BVS? Didn't they have Justice League right in the very end, or did they not?
I'm not sure.
I don't remember.
I think he maybe alluded to the fact that he's like, I've got to get a team together, and I know some people or something.
See,
but
the point is, when they start announcing officially, like, Justice League, the whole thing, people on the outside will go back and watch BVS and be like, oh, that's what they meant when they showed those files. That's what it was. It's just sort of a click pop moment,
I mean, I don't disagree with that for people who are familiar with it, but I think they could have done it in a better way where that was maybe relegated to an after credit scene, because all these movies have so many. They could have. I think if I remember correctly, they had 2 after credit scenes. One where he was going to try to, was it where he was trying to meet Aquaman? He was going out to find Aquaman, maybe.
I don't remember that. I saw one of the after credit scenes.
And then I know the other one was where Jesse Eisenberg was communicating with Darkseid or his brother or something.
I feel like that's the one I saw.
Yeah, and even then, I don't even think that was an after credit scene. I think they just released it as a deleted scene, like the day after the film came out on YouTube or something. But I'm pretty sure the end credit scenes kind of alluded to the Justice League. Anyway, but I do think that it would have been better if they just would have relegated it to like a mid-credit scene or something.
You know what we forgot? You know how we're like really noobs?
Yeah.
I forgot to turn that fan off before we started. Sorry for the fan noise.
Yeah.
We're not. I know you probably aren't fans of that, but it's hot in this room, and we forgot to turn it off.
Yeah, we don't have central AC to this part of the house, so it's either that or a lot louder
window AC unit.
Yeah,
so yeah,
we're sweating for sacrifice for you guys.
Luckily, we have nice, cold, delicious sodas. Halfway done.
So we apologize for the last 15 minutes of you having to struggle to hear us say such shit. If you've stuck around to this point, good for you. You're a true hero.
Yeah.
So, okay.
If you stuck around to this point, go in the comments and just type in "forgive you guys." I forgive you. Just that's all we got to hear. Just
or not.
Or not.
I don't give a shit.
Do it.
Anyway, so back to Wonder Woman. So yeah, BVS was a mess. it could have been a lot better. They could have done some things a little differently. They didn't have to throw Doomsday in, of all things. I think that was a little too much. I would much rather that Eisenberg kind of just be like, I know your weakness. It's kryptonite, and I'm gonna build a suit and
that would have been enough.
Kryptonites in the knuckles, so that way I can beat the shit out of you, like Batman does. And so
that would have been enough to get you to see the next movie.
I mean, and he maybe at the end he could have alluded to there being a Doomsday, so that way the next solo Superman film there could have been another villain.
Right.
I guess maybe the next one they could do Brainiac or something, but. Getting off track, Wonder Woman was great. It felt like a very good origin story for her because we've never really had one before at big cinema like this, and it worked in all sorts of ways. And I'm not sure if there's anything that I really dislike about it. I know it's not perfect. I'm sure over time I'll find something. I mean, it's definitely not my number one comic film. I mean, The Dark Knight takes that any day. And then after that would probably be Guardians 1.
Really?
I love Guardians 1. Right. I mean, I'm a Pratt fan. Like,
well, I am too, but I still feel like Guardians was a little overhyped. I didn't see it in theaters. I saw it on DVD, so I just had all this hype just building me up over people just talking about it when it was in theaters and everything. So when I saw it, I was like, this isn't as good as people were saying. It was good, but I'm just putting like, I'm not like, jerking it to this or anything. Like, same thing with Avatar, though. I wasn't just like, blue people, that's nice. I mean, it's a good movie, but I wasn't like...
It was good. But
I waited to see that one, too.
I don't think it should have been as good as people thought it was. But, so there's that. And then probably Wonder Woman is third. It's definitely up there. It's really, really good. And
are you talking just DC here?
No.
Oh, Marvel. That's right. Guardians Marvel. That's right.
And then 4 and 5 would probably be Deadpool and then Civil War.
I can see that.
I would. I mean, if not, like, for me, it's really hard to pick 5 Civil War because 6 is very close, which would be Avengers 1. I really liked that one better than Avengers 2, but I haven't really thought deep into it, but I would say Wonder Woman's in the top 3, at least the top 5.
See, cinematically, I swing more Marvel than DC. Straight up comics is DC all the way for me. I like their dark, gritty stories, but as far as cinema goes, it's Marvel. So it's like,
right.
The first Avengers I had so much fun with that movie. Then Dark Knight. I could see Wonder Woman being in my top 5. I'm going to give that number 3 also. The first Iron Man movie, I could watch that anytime. I don't know why I love that movie so much. I just do. And 5 is Spider-Man Homecoming.
Has it come out? You're just automatically going to put it there?
Yeah. Because I couldn't think of anything else, and I like Spider-Man. So.
One movie that I think...
Spider-Man 3.
That's
number 5.
Please don't say that again. That should be erased from history. So, I know a Marvel movie that I kind of understand in a little bit of a way why people don't like it.
As you go.
I'm sure as it gets warmer, it's going to be way worse. So you probably want to finish as fast as possible.
What were you saying?
So I think a movie that people shit on a lot, but I really like, and I kind of understand why they don't like it, but I love it so much, is Ant-Man.
I didn't see it.
It's really good. I think it's really good. I think it's a lot of fun. It definitely pokes fun at itself and everything. It's very lively. Does the Marvel formula very well. Mm-hmm. Of course, it sticks with that formula of a really terrible villain, even though I can't remember the name of the actor. I think it's Corey Stoll. He did a good job. I like him, but yeah, he definitely was underdeveloped.
From what I saw from him in Civil War, he looked like a real fun character.
Yeah, I mean, Paul Rudd, I think, plays a great Ant-Man. I think the reason people don't like it so much is it's very verbose. There's a lot of dialogue explaining things, and through his training of how to use the suit and everything. Mm-hmm. There's just a lot of scenes of Michael Douglas just talking, and so I can kind of get why people wouldn't like that. But honestly, Ant-Man is somebody that is a very much a smaller hero in the Marvel Universe, and not everybody has heard of Ant-Man.
Pun intended there. He's small.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
That's a good one.
He's now on the big screen, so, that's okay. That
Civil War, he was really big there. He looked at the plane and stuff. That was cool.
Yeah. Anyway, so I can understand why they would need to do a lot of kind of explaining how his powers work and everything, and how all that. I mean, it's introducing a very unfamiliar character to a massive audience.
Which they've been doing good, like Guardians. I had no idea who Guardians were until the movie came out. I had no idea they existed at all.
Yeah, I mean, I'd maybe heard of Star-Lord because I'm more of a DC person as well, and I've heard of Star-Lord before. And but I just never really looked into his stuff because I didn't know anything about him. But for sure, I would say that they kind of have to do. I mean, Guardians did it better. I can definitely tell that Guardians did it way better because they didn't do really.
Gotta finish it.
They didn't really do a lot of like hardcore like. This is a lot of dialogue to explain things. Like, they kind of just throw the characters at you, which is very nice. It's very, like, they characterize them throughout the movie enough that you get to, like, know each one of them.
Through their interactions.
And, of course, Guardians 2, which I don't know if you've seen that.
I haven't yet, no.
Guardians 2 definitely digs in on the characters. Digs in on the characters that weren't characterized as much in the first one, which is great. But they definitely kind of just let you figure the characters out for themselves without throwing a bunch of dialogue at you. Like, the whole intro at the beginning where they show, like, Peter Quill's origin, that was really enough. They didn't have to do, like, a bunch of, like Drax, I believe, that they just kind of briefly touch on, like, his wife and kids died, and so he just killed
That's all I
people.
needed to know in the first movie was,
right.
'cause he's not a super deep character. You don't have to... As far as like the Guardians for that particular movie, that story, his backstory didn't matter as much.
Right.
He just know that they died, and he's upset.
They just kind of let the character's personality explain himself enough, right? And then same thing with Gamora. She's like the son of or the daughter of Thanos, and she's adopted, I believe, and so it's that kind of works in a way. And then. You learned that like Rocket's like was experimented on, but that was enough because again, like in Groot, you don't really know much about him except for he hangs out with Rocket, and it works enough because the characters' personalities really shine through the movie, and so you kind of just get to like them for them, and then what bits it fills you in enough. And so with Ant-Man, they kind of had to do all that, but then there wasn't really a lot of great, funny, goofy characters except for Paul Rudd to anchor the film, and so. There was going to be a lot of that, I feel. But, yeah, so, I mean, I like the movie a lot. A lot of people, for whatever, don't. I would think it's
I'll have to watch it then.
Top 10.
Like I said, his part in Civil War, I enjoyed. I liked his character, so I don't know why I haven't seen it yet, because I thought I should see the movie when I watched Civil War. So.
Right. Okay, so I think we're done talking about that, right? And
Wonder Woman? We're done?
Yeah, Wonder Woman that we talked about for maybe a couple seconds.
Yeah, it's fine.
I mean...
Good movie, watch it. Oh, a complaint I had actually about it. And without... I can't... We're not doing spoilers, so all I'm going to say is when Ares revealed himself, it was weird. Like, the way he looked... is not how... I mean, I don't know much about Ares other than what I've seen from the Injustice video game, actually. So I guess... I don't know anything... I haven't read a comic with him in it or anything, but just... I don't want to spoil anything.
I mean, are you saying, like, the actor that played him?
Yeah, I feel like once he revealed himself, he should have went full Ares and not seen his face at all. I mean... Or at least should have changed it differently. I don't know. It was just weird for him to have his normal face. Can't spoil anything.
Yeah.
So just when you see it, just go into it. Just you look at it and see what you think. If you think the same thing as me, it worked in the end. I didn't have a problem with it towards the end, but just at first I was like, really? It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that, but I mean, I guess that is the complaint that I would have is that this definitely has the Marvel problem of lackluster villains. Like, you don't really know a lot about them. They're kind of just like thrown at you and like they're evil because they're evil, and it's just like thanks, yeah.
I guess the problem I had with it was that there wasn't enough separation between his hidden self and his full villain self. Like, it was enough for me that we knew who he was before, and then he changed into Ares, and then if he would have changed entirely into a different character, that would have been better, because he was in hiding. He's a god of war. He can change his appearance at will, you know? So the fact that they only did it like halfway, they could have done so much more with it, I felt. Make him feel a lot more menacing. Because he still felt like half human to me.
Yeah.
I don't know, like when was fighting, like I just...
well, I mean, I guess I don't want to make him too weird because, I mean... I don't know how much I can really say. We'll just drop it. Anyway, yeah, that's a little weird point. The kind of way they revealed him. And then also the fact that he's... that it's just very not a great villain, like very undeveloped. Like they're just like Wonder Woman needs someone to stop.
Well, I mean, Ares is a great villain, but they just didn't do it well in the cinematic film, cinematic universe. But it's
very long video.
It's fine. Yes.
But yeah. So you said you had something that you wanted to show me, right?
Want to show you?
Yeah. The book back there.
Oh yeah, okay, so I don't know what I'm doing.
Clearly.
So what we got here, we got a little segment we're doing right now. It's called forget what I was gonna call it.
Super Zeros.
Super Zeros. Basically I have this League of Regrettable Superheroes book. Just lays out a whole bunch of different like super minuscule comic book companies that were out way back in the golden and silver age of comics that didn't really go anywhere, but they made a lot of heroes that were kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, so what you've told me, it's like there's A-listers like Superman and Batman, then there's B-listers that like someone like Static Shock or like Mr. Terrific, you know, just
great show, Static Shock.
So, you know, that would be kind of in that range, but then these are like D or like F listers, like really terrible.
They're bad. Okay, so I've skimmed through, and since we're talking about Wonder Woman a lot, we're supposed to. Wonder Woman is the subject right now. So Wonder Woman is the theme tonight. So I went through here and I found the most ridiculous character that is the most similar to Wonder Woman, and her name.
Yeah, I don't know any of this, by the way.
Yeah, I wouldn't tell him. Her name is Moon Girl.
Moon Girl.
Moon Girl. Created by EC Comics, which stands for, actually, the Entertaining Comic.
So, they were really trying to push hard for DC's area. They're just like, well, let's go one letter different.
Yeah, see, look at her. It's Moon Girl.
I mean, and that looks like Wonder Woman.
She was super feminist. Like... hardcore, like Wonder Woman is empowering women. This is just tearing men down.
So she's a feminazi.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Let me see here. There's the interesting points we have here. Okay, so we have her name is Claire Loon.
Oh my god.
And she is a princess of an isolated civilization of warrior women. Sound familiar?
I'd say.
In possession of powers that make her superior to any man.
Oh my god.
See? Claire takes off for America, where, assuming the identity of Moon Girl, she battles evil in her telepathically controlled airship, or to be more precise, moonship.
Oh my god. Okay.
Her natural superiority to the is enhanced by a mystical moonstone she wears on her choker. That's a necklace thing for people who don't know. It's like a really tight necklace.
So they were like, well, when did they give you the date of whenever this character was released?
She debuted in 1947.
Oh god, Jesus, that was a long time ago. I was gonna say, sounds to me like they were like, what if we took Wonder Woman and then like mixed her with Clefairy, just moonstone that shit.
Clefairy. Oh god.
Also, what if she was just a total bitch? Just.
I don't even really know if she has telepathic powers, apparently.
Yeah, that is weird. I don't know how well y'all can see that, but
I'll put something on the. I'll put a thing up.
Yeah, because that's. I mean, if that's not Wonder Woman, I mean, it looks like maybe like, you know, like a concept before they were like, this is what she's actually gonna look like.
Right.
Wow. EC Comics. That. I mean, that. I think that's hilarious, and they're just like, DC's doing well. Just go one little different, right?
Easy. Will be relatable.
It didn't. Somebody did that, right? There was like IBM, and then some. I don't know. There was another company that did something similar where they changed the letters of IBM. Anyway. Okay, well that was weird.
Yeah.
I hope there's a lot of. I mean, I'm sure there'll be plenty of more.
That's not. It's mild actually. I just had to find something close to Wonder Woman, and that was the closest. But there's some weird stuff in that. Yeah.
Okay, so in other news, have you seen that Black Panther trailer?
Yeah, I watched it today actually.
Yeah, it looks really good. I mean, I always get a little cautious because. I mean, there are a lot of trailers that have made movies look great, and then they've been not great. And so, but you know, I really like Black Panther and Civil War. I mean, they did a really good job.
And if that has anything close to what the movie's gonna be like, it's gonna be fantastic.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what it is that Marvel does to their cinematic universe, but they just make it work every time. It just looks. I think maybe the difference, and I'm actually going to bring up Wonder Woman again because I feel like they did something similar. Everything's brighter in Marvel. They do a lot of bright stuff where DC Universe is more dark and gritty, which can work, but they haven't really nailed since Dark Knight. You know, Wonder Woman got pretty close. But yeah, just the way they shoot things.
Brighter tone than BBS was.
And one thing I feel like Wonder Woman definitely got right is humor. Like, they used a lot more humor in Wonder Woman. They brought it in correctly. Mm-hmm. You know, a foreigner in a new land trying to do things the old way doesn't work. It's funny. Ha-ha. Which is what a superhero movie needs when they have a character that powerful. It can't just be, you know, punch, 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 it's all over. You gotta have something to break that up. It can't be sad, then punch, and that's it. You know, you gotta have something to break up all the darkness.
These are essentially like adventure films. And so people want them to be a little bit lighthearted, but also, you know, like, the way I kind of do a succinct way of talking about like Marvel's formula is it's the perfect balance between badass and hilarious. Like they really work well with their humor along with making the characters very not overly serious, but enough to where you really feel for them. You know, we don't need it being like a buddy cop thing or you know like
sarcasm works wonders in hero movies. I mean, Iron Man is just great.
I mean, there are a lot of sarcastic characters. I mean,
see that I felt like Wonder Woman went along great with. They probably took a little bit from Thor's formula. Same thing, outsider in a new world, doesn't know how things work, but still managed. You know.
I mean, the fish out of water thing is very easy to do, and you know, it can be done wrong, but I think it's harder to mess. But so with Black Panther, I think that this is going to be a very good mix between him being a badass and I'm sure that the humor will come in.
I feel like he's going to be less humorous, like, 'cause he's his role in Civil War, a very serious tone, which is gonna be going more towards the DC side, which can be iffy, especially since Marvel, almost their entire universe has serious like comedy elements in it. So I feel like Black Panther is a really serious character for them. I really don't think comedy is gonna work at all for him, but maybe if they have with a brighter tone.
I mean, they'll probably either, I don't know if he'll so much as be the one who's being funny as probably there will be a supporting character who will be the funny one, you know. So I think it'll be good. They really haven't made, Like, I mean, I know that, like, the Thor movies aren't fantastic.
No.
And then I really didn't like the first Captain America all that much.
Winter Soldier was
Winter
really
Soldier
good.
was great. And Civil War was pretty good, too. I liked it a lot.
I enjoyed the first Captain America, but Civil War is definitely... I mean, Winter Soldier is definitely...
I mean, they've definitely had problems. You know, Iron Man 1 was good. Iron Man 2 was not good. I don't know how people watched it. I have tried... Honestly, I've tried 3 different times
I've seen all
to
3.
watch this film, and I feel like I stop watching it at about the race car scene every time. Just
I can see that.
the first time I meet,
I wasn't buying that villain at all.
Yeah,
I like the actor. I think the actor is fantastic.
Yeah.
But that villain, it didn't seem like he was all put together. Like he was just thinking about it. Like, it wasn't all there. Same thing with the third movie. I really didn't think they had enough development on, I don't even remember the name, like Red Dragon or something. Some dragon thing. I don't really remember his powers. They didn't develop him at all. He just showed up at the very end with powers. Like, I think he was there the whole movie, but you didn't know he was a villain. Yeah. And in the end, he's like, oh, I have powers.
Yeah, I can't remember his name either. My brain is saying Iron Fist. That is not right, but they both have the glowing thing, so it's maybe similar enough. But so I think Black Panther will be good. I mean, it's definitely going to be a first. A black superhero leading a film. Yeah. And I think they probably purposefully tried to make him seem more badass because that'll draw more people in. Mm-hmm. Just like with Wonder Woman, they kind of also tried to show her as being a very badass character. Also, showing off their humor, because I'm sure there were a lot of people who are not very excited about the DC film universe. It hasn't been great so far.
Done.
Was it a great soda? Want to get a 6-pack?
I'm having flashbacks. PTSD. Post-traumatic soda disorder.
Black Panther I think will be good. But I did want to say I don't remember if I don't know if I knew this beforehand or if I just happened to see it in the trailer, but I did not realize Michael B. Jordan was going to be in this film, and they just showed a few glimpses of him, and I love Michael B. Jordan. I don't know if you...
I can't put it... I know the name, and I probably know his face. I didn't put it together.
He was in Fruitvale Station. He was the main actor. He was in... he played the Human Torch in the last Fantastic Four remake.
I didn't watch that one either. I don't bother with
Fantastic.
Fantastic
From the trailers?
No.
Well, in case you don't know, he'll throw up a picture.
Yeah, I've already looked now by this point. By your time watching this, it's right here.
Yeah, but anyway, he's a very good actor. He was in the newest Rocky movie. I can't remember the name of it, but
Rocky 47.
Yeah, 38, whatever. But yeah, and it was really, really good. But he's a very good actor, and I like him a lot. So when seeing him in this, I'm very excited about him playing. Hopefully he's not a super minor character. I wouldn't think so. He's pretty big at this point.
Either way, it's definitely something we're going to see. So
yeah. Looking forward to it. So I guess that's kind of it for the comic book talk. I guess we should kind of get into... I know E3 started today.
Yeah, just today. So
yeah, and
we're recording this Saturday night, so...
Yeah, there's only the one conference that's gone on. It's the EA conference, and I mean, I the only ones I really pay attention to are Microsoft, sort of. Nintendo has their Direct, which I'll look up stuff afterwards to make sure any cool stuff has been said.
Right.
And then, but I pay a lot of attention to Sony.
Yeah, that's my main one.
I like the PS4 that I have. I've kind of been a Sony console owner since the PS2, PS3. Got really late into the PS2 game, and PS3 and PS4 I love them. I had 360, of course, and loved that. But then once I got the PS3, I kind of never touched it again, and I don't even know if I wanted one. But anyway, so EA, and all these other publishers, they'll have their little things, and I'll kind of pay attention, maybe see if there's anything cool announced.
Look at the highlights afterwards.
Right. Yeah. So I know there was a new BioWare game, which BioWare makes pretty good stuff. I mean, they made the Mass Effect series, which I loved. Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 is good till the end. I'm sure you guys know that. It's yeah, they could have done a lot better. And I was really pissed because they released a patch for it that gave you extra content at the very end of the game to kind of close up some like loose ends. And you were like, well, what the fuck happens with this and with this person? And but for whatever reason, I downloaded it and it said it was installed. Never worked, so I never got to see it. I had to look up on YouTube the extra content. So,
everyone dies.
Yeah, I was kind of upset about that. But anyway, so they make other good games. I'm not off the top of my head, I don't really remember all I know is that they did the Mass Effect series and it was great. And they make some other good stuff. So they have a new one being released called Anthem. And it's just a little teaser trailer. It doesn't really tell you much of anything. It looks interesting. It looks like it's a sci-fi concept. I mean, clearly they do that very well.
What's the latest game you're talking about in the series?
Mass Effect?
Mass Effect.
Andromeda?
Andromeda.
Yeah, I was going to get that, and then I'm kind of glad I haven't because it was shit.
I saw a
hole and
saw a picture of the guy in a new game. What was it called? Anthem. Just a picture of it, and someone's like, BioWare can't mess up facial cap if you wear a mask the entire time. I'm like, exactly what they were talking about. It cracked me up.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Oh, I think no, I'm thinking of another company. Anyway. Anthem, they do sci-fi very well. I think that this could be good. Of course, ever since No Man's Sky, I have just vowed off of pre-ordering anything.
I still have No Man's Sky. I like it. Should wait on the updates. It's got great updates now.
I mean, it feels
fantastic.
It feels like it's getting there, but now it's, for me anyway, it's too far gone. Like right now I'm playing Persona 5 and Neo, and I love those. They're great. And so I don't know. Maybe someday whenever I'm just like, I am super bored, have nothing to do, I'm going to play, I guess, No Man's Sky. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, so Anthem, I'm going to wait for more stuff to kind of see what they say, because I'm not going to listen to over-promising bullshit. And I'll probably just wait for it to come out and then see if people think it's good. So that was announced. And then another one, which seemed like an interesting concept, A Way Out.
Yes.
And so that one was announced, and it's a cooperative jailbreak game. It's on the more on the cinematic side, and basically you have to, at least what they said is that you have to play it 2-player.
Multiplayer,
So it can either be split screen local or it can be online. I
think either way it's split screen, like just because you get the story from both the screens, like you don't get all the story from just one. So even if you play online, I'm pretty sure it's going to be split screen still.
I hope it's not, because to me, if you're playing local and it's split screen, I think that's fine. I think it would be really annoying to be playing by yourself, even if you're playing online with someone else, that to have half your screen taken up by one you're not going to pay attention to anyway.
I feel like if they do it right, it'll work out.
We'll have to see. I mean, I'm still a little bit skeptical about it. You know, like, even though it's a great concept and it does force people to play, you know, my worry is that you're going to get people who are just going to fuck around on the game, and they're going to do shit that's just going to make the game harder, or not productive, or, you know, it's games like that can be cool, but unless you have a really good partner, it's going to be a bad experience.
Which is probably why it's for couch co-op mainly. Yeah, less so for online.
Yeah, I think that could work. You know, like I don't remember the name of it, but there was a game that was out, and it had like 2 soldiers that were like armored up, and
Army of 2.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Army of 2, and I felt like
enough of those games to know how horrible they are.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great concept and it probably works, but whenever you have to play online with people you don't know, it can be a bad experience. Yeah. That's why anytime they're just like, you know, group up with squads of people and take stuff down, it's just like, if this is an MMO where everyone has a similar objective, I feel like this works. But whenever it's something that where people can really mess around and just not care, you can get stuck with someone really terrible and not have a good time with the game. You know, it sucks that your experience of the game depends on the quality of the people that you're playing it with.
Oh yeah. You'll probably want to just do friends list type stuff online. But I'm sure they're focused mainly on the couch co-op aspect of it.
Right.
Which is nice. It's great.
If it's halfway decent, more than likely. James has another channel called Slow Speed Run. Check it out if you want.
Description.
It'll be link will be in the description. I'm sure if it's decent enough, they'll play it on there. Maybe it'll be me and him. I don't know. I've done a video on that channel, so
awesome description. Check it out.
So we'll see. But that'd be a good one to play. I think it's nice that it kind of forces local, not forces, but encourages local
bringing
split
that
screen. Because split screen's great. For a lot of games it was really great, and it's kind of sucks that there's not really anything out there now that does that. We'll keep an eye out on that one. It looks like it could be very interesting concept. And then so there were a few other games that were kind of either not really announced, because those are the only two new ones. There were just a lot of updates to current franchises and stuff, and nothing super interesting. Battlefront 2, I just played the beta of Battlefront, and it was all right. I didn't really like it. It just felt like it just felt like a skinned Battlefront game, or a Battlefield game.
Well, I really like Battlefield, so Battlefront. I see what you're talking about now. I didn't think about that, but yeah, I really enjoyed Battlefront as well, because I know there's something similar, something really familiar about it, and I couldn't put my finger on it, but there it is. It's like Battlefield, and I really enjoy Battlefield.
And I didn't really play it. I didn't really buy the game, but a lot of people had problems with certain things about it. I mean, I'm sure you can look it up and hear how people playing, but supposedly they're really trying hard to fix that with Battlefront 2. And the thing that I'm really interested in is the fact that it spans all of the Star Wars era, so all the way from the shitquels all the way up to the new movies, which is nice. You can interact with all those characters and those planets and universes and everything.
That's all fine and dandy.
Yeah.
The one thing they need to fix is the plane controls in match.
I've heard that has been a big focus because they're going to introduce space battles into this one, which will be cool. But yes, it's very difficult to have a first-person shooter and then have them fly around and shit. I mean, even with Battlefield, I never liked flying on a plane. It's terrible experience.
I avoided it altogether in Battlefront, because I would run up to the little icon, the coin thing, grab it. It would load my plane, I'd fly 4 feet and try to fly up and plow right into the ground. And then my whole team's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know, I'm trying to fly.
Yeah, it's for me, it seems like it's really difficult for games that try to integrate multiple control systems. Just one of them ends up not feeling great. So with Battlefield, like I was saying, on the ground, you're great. In tanks, it's great. In a plane, I feel like you'd have to practice for a while to really get it, and so to me that's just this should be more accessible. It should be more where people can just jump in the plane and do some stuff. And so I hopped in a plane a few times on Battlefield, and trying to dogfight, I'm not trying to play something that's dedicated to it and kind of get a feel for it. But with Battlefront 2, they're supposed to be fixing those problems, and so it could be interesting. And I think I heard also that all the DLC add-ons are supposed to be now free with this one, which is very nice. It's great not to have to pay $2 for every little gun, decal, whatever the hell else.
Fee to pay.
Yeah. So Battlefront 2, they had some updates on. Of course, they had an update on a new Need for Speed game,
which is good.
Right?
Are they still being made by the people who made Burnout?
I don't know. I really am not sure. I haven't played a Need for Speed. I haven't played a racing game in a long time. They're not really my cup of tea.
I'm the same way, but Burnout is a different story. Back in the day, it was crazy and really fun.
Yeah.
And then
so I've read a couple things, and a lot of people said that I didn't look at the trailer or any videos or anything, but people have been saying that it feels like Need for Speed set in a Fast and Furious type universe, where it's a lot of fun and everything, but also I've heard some comparisons about it's a mix between Burnout and Split Second. And I haven't played Split Second.
I played it for a bit.
And I've heard that it's pretty decent, and that Burnout was a lot of fun, of course. So a mix of those two sounds like it could be a good thing, like a semi-serious driver, but also just to
Right. Okay.
can be
Good.
crazy
Then
fun.
I'm all. If it's really that good, then I'm all in. If it's all those things.
And then after that, there was they talked about Madden 18. Of course, it's just a rehash.
Sports.
I play sports games. I like Madden. I don't buy it every year because half the time it's just a tweak and a
roster update.
Yeah, it's essentially a roster update with a couple of tweaks here and there and change the menus around. And it doesn't do much. But this one, this is gonna be the first time that they've done a story mode. Now the NBA 2K games kind of has been doing story modes, and I think it was 2K17, maybe 16. I can't remember. Where they did a story mode, and it was like written and directed by Spike Lee, and it was okay at first.
I think that was free on PS Plus a few months ago.
Yeah, it was.
I got it. Tried to play it. I couldn't. I don't know.
It was. I liked the year before that. I think it was 16. I think it was 17 that, if I remember, it was 17 that had that story, and then I liked 16 a lot. They changed some of the stuff in 17. I usually like being a point guard, and being a point guard in 17 is like super hard because because of the Warriors, they were just like, well, now everyone's gonna be doing 3-pointers all the time, so let's make it nearly impossible to do 3-pointers. Like in 16, you could just do a pick and roll, so your teammate comes up, they block your defender, and he hits them, and then you roll around them and you're open, right? Well, now you used to be able to spam the shit out of that and just like win every game, and so which, I mean, some people say it's not a challenge, but I don't play a game competitively. I just like to play a game to play. And so, now they've basically made the AI really smart about that specific thing, so you spam it a couple times and they catch on. But anyway, but story mode in that was alright. It was kind of contrived and, like, got to be a little bit annoying later on, and then it just kind of ends, and you're just like, this isn't, like... If I remember correctly, by the time the whole story mode ends, your character still has really shitty stats, and the story mode's pretty long. Not pretty long; it's kind of long for a sports game. And it really bothered me that you went through your whole basically rookie year. I think maybe you go through another year too doing the story, but you go through a lot, and then you're really trying to work your way up. And supposedly by the end of it, you're just like this huge all-star. I mean, not all-star, but you're a star. You're known, right? People like you. But then you still have really awful stats. To me, that made no sense. It was really dumb. It didn't line up. I felt like if they were going to do that at the end of the season, they said, story mode's over, now it's just free play, blah, 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 do this, do that. Here's some stat points that you can put into all your stuff, and then you can, make your character better than what it should be if you just started the game.
Right.
And so now with Madden 18, they're going to be doing the same thing. They're going to be doing a storyline. I haven't watched the trailer. I've heard people say, it looks really dramatic, melodramatic, and I imagine it's probably not going to be great. I mean, I get the thrill of wanting to do stories because I like the idea of you being a rookie.
Nothing and going. Yeah, I get that, yeah.
And I feel like the last Madden I have is, I think, 16. And I feel like 16 did really well managing that because you kind of... I don't remember if they made you play any games. You kind of get drafted, or maybe you can pick the team you want to play with, but you start off really shitty. And it's not because in old Madden games, they were just like, oh, you got a 67 overall, you're the starter now. It's just like, but I play for the Patriots. Like, I'm really going to sit in front of Tom Brady? And they're just like, yeah, because you're the character. That made no sense, But now with this one, they're just like, oh, overall 67? Sorry, bub. You're going to have to be, third stringer, maybe practice squad, just, you're going to have to work your way up. And you have to, go, literally, so I was the first time I played it, I was quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, and, of course, Tony Romo was sitting up there.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, how about them Cowboys? We just lost a lot of people. Or gained a lot of people, if you're a Cowboy fan. I started way below, and, it took a while to, I had to, basically, the only playtime I got was I got to go to practices, fun, and then at games, I got to hold the ball while they did field goals. That was it. Literally, that was it, which made sense for my character.
Right.
And the only reason, like, I got enough experience points to get above the second string quarterback. I don't remember who it was. Some piece of shit, I'm sure. And I got above him, and I was like, great. Now I only have to get in front of Tony. And I was like, but that's going to take, like, literally 2 or 3 seasons, which would felt very real.
Mm-hmm.
But then Tony got hurt.
Ah.
Just before the playoffs, like 2 or 3 games before the playoffs. And I got to step in, and I got a shit ton of experience. My stats went up a lot, which makes sense because you're getting more playtime, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I led the Cowboys to the Super Bowl, and I don't think I actually won. I think I lost. But definitely after that, like the next season, I wasn't high enough to beat Tony yet, but because of that, they kind of were letting me. In the preseason, I had a lot more time and got myself bumped up enough to where I was like. Really close to Tony's level, but they still put him in first, which makes sense.
Right,
know?
yeah.
That's kind of how it would really be. Maybe. I mean, some people might just be like, sorry, Tony, you're out. I mean, like, I don't know. They're just like, Dak, what's up? So, I like that a lot. I like how you felt the progression.
Mm-hmm.
This, I think, it's going to feel a little, like, forced and everything, so... I don't know. I'll wait and see. Of course, like I said, I don't buy them every year because there's no point. But this one, at Madden 18, the storyline's pretty good. It adds a lot. It's really fun. When it doesn't take away or doesn't feel stupid. No, I'll probably buy it to kind of update it. So, yeah, that was Madden 18. And then last, they had a couple other things about some games I really haven't played, like FIFA. I don't know, something about like Ronaldo, whatever.
There's a ball involved.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard the FIFA games are good, but...
No, it's not as good as Rocket League, though.
Yeah.
Just gotta...
If only Rocket League were real. So, I haven't played them. I've heard they're really fun. I've only seen, like, GIFs and whatnot on the internet of really silly shit whenever the physics engine just, like, shits itself. And then some NBA Live stuff, which NBA Live has like come back recently in the past like few years. It's like the competitor to NBA 2K, but I don't like NBA Live. It feels weird compared to 2K. 2K feels really, really good. I mean, they've had a long time to like get their controls really tight and everything. It feels really good, but NBA Live just felt weird. So I really don't care about that. But anyway, that was all that EA had to announce, and so it's kind of a little bit of a small conference. Supposedly they'll. I think the reason why is because I think they have some more information on some of those games with the Microsoft conference that's going to happen tomorrow.
So it'll cross out. Yeah,
so they don't want to like steal all of Microsoft's. Then they're the big dogs. So,
right.
Yeah, they're just kind of like here's some stuff, and
we'll have the next week's show. We'll have the full E3 coverage.
So
we'll watch everything else.
Yeah,
so.
I mean next week we'll talk about Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo,
that kind of
stuff.
See
what's going on
Ubisoft, whatever else is showing up.
So, yeah, we'll get on that. And I guess last thing that we want to talk about is Terraforming Mars, right?
A new a board game we just picked up recently and played for the first time a few days ago. So Terraforming Mars. What kind of game? Was it like a resource gathering, would you call it?
I think they consider it like a 4X game. So that's like explore, exploit, exterminate, something else. Anyway, it's basically it's there's not really a lot of, well, I guess there's like there's conquering of land in a way. You kind of have to.
It's really not the main focus, though. Really,
no, it's not. It's really big and popular right now. It was one of the best games that came out last year, and basically it actually plays 1 to 5 players. So, and I've heard that playing it by yourself is all right. It's kind of challenging, but I'm sure it's better playing with more people. So we play with 3.
Right. And basically what happens in the game is each player is the CEO, owner of a corporation, whatever corporation on your card, and you've all come to Mars to try to make it habitable for people on Earth. So naturally, as a corporation, you want to have the most, control over the planet. So while you're somewhat trying to work with other corporations, you want to be the biggest. So you all take turns spending your resources to get more resources and all this kind of stuff. And the game is over when the temperature's high enough, there's enough oxygen, and there's enough water. You've made enough water on the planet. So there's not really a set length, which I kind of like. It can be over really quick, or it can be over. It can take a long time to play the game.
Yeah, it depends on how the players focus their efforts. So if you're really more, if all the players are like, we're just going to focus on building up what our companies can do, then it'll take a little bit longer.
Yeah, and it's one of those games where what you do in the game doesn't really matter. It's the points at the end that really determine who the winner is. So you're using what's in the game to sneak in victory points at the end. So that's when the game really gets interesting towards the end, when you feel as a character that as a corporation that you can pull ahead and win at the end. You start bumping up the oxygen and the water. All the winning points is super quick to make it over, so the other people don't have time to get those points. And so if you feel like you have a solid lead, you just bump all that up real quick and end the game and you just pull ahead. That's what I did. At least I won. So I mean, because
it worked.
Because when I got 2 of the things to ensure I got those points, I was like, I don't have any reason to drag this out. I have cards here that'll bump up everything else to get it up to the top.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of fun. I mean,
we only played it once, but it was a great experience. And they have an extended mode essentially. Mm-hmm. They give you a thick, fat stack of extra cards and corporations that you can shuffle into the mix. And basically, all those extra cards, they don't have anything to do with actual terraforming. They don't increase any of the parameters that give you victory points. They essentially do just technology and economics and that kind of stuff, and so they extend the game by quite a bit. Because when we played, they measured rounds and turns and generations, and so we only played through 30 generations or
roughly,
so, and that was 2 hours of gameplay, but. The board it goes around the edge of the board and it goes all the way up to 100. And so I'm imagining that if you play with the extended mode, you would probably go into at least the 70s, 80s, and if you really pushed it, you'd go all the way up to 100. I don't know what happens if you hit 100. Maybe at that point the game just kind of ends, or maybe
kind of explodes. No matter what you've done,
just someone comes and just takes the game away from you because you suck at it. I don't know. So. It was a really fun game. We like it. We're not professional game board reviewers.
No. And I was actually surprised once I started. I learned a tiny bit about the game before we bought it, and I thought it was really neat but I thought it was more cooperative, which are the type of games I like where you're playing against the board, as cooperating to beat the board. I really enjoy those. Right. So when we started diving into the instructions, I was like, crap. I really hope we didn't make a mistake with getting this game. But, no, a few turns in, I was like, this is awesome. Yeah. I really enjoy this game.
It's a great game. And we at that same day that we bought Terraforming Mars, we actually picked up another one called The Game.
Just The Game.
Just a little card game. We've heard pretty good things about it, but we'll play that probably tonight.
We'll play it tonight, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll touch on it next week. Yeah. Kind of let you guys know about it. But I don't know how often we'll talk about board games, and just every once in a while. We don't buy them all that often. Kind of expensive.
Yeah.
I think Terraforming Mars was $70. So that's shit. I get it. You're spending $70 for a game that has a lot of components, but you're also hoping to get many, many, many hours of entertainment out of it.
It should pay for itself, the game, ideally.
So, but still, that's just a ton of money to drop on a game.
Mm-hmm.
I think the most expensive one was I bought the Dominion 3-box, huge deluxe one or something.
Superstar set?
Something. And it came with the Dominion standard core set, and then alchemy and
what's it called? Starts with a P.
Something about merchants and shit. Yeah. So, but that one was $90 or something. But
worth it though. We need to play that again. Actually,
yeah, Dominion was
we need to get an alchemy. We haven't actually done that, or the other one, whatever the one was.
The other one has coins and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. We've just been cranking the starter set. Still freaking amazing. It's still fun. We're still playing just that, and we haven't even cracked into the other two.
Yeah.
So, whatever.
I mean, if you want more information maybe on these games and kind of maybe like in-depth reviews, the only good channel I know of, I mean, you can like search on YouTube if you want, but I mean, the Dice Tower has a lot of like good videos on all their board game stuff. Tom has been doing board game reviews on the Dice Tower for years. I mean, he's big enough to where now he has his own like convention.
Really?
It's the Dice Tower Con. Huh. I had no idea until this year. And I found out, like, because I just started really rewatching his videos, and I found out, like, he actually, like, now he's so big that board game companies, publishers will send him copies of like demos or betas, like basically saying like, look at this, tell us what you think about it, and like bring him on as a consultant for games and stuff. Like it's kind of cool. I mean, but yeah, he's a great source for that kind of stuff. And of course, you can always look on like I think it's like GameBoardGeek.com, right? Mm-hmm. So that's a great resource for looking up all that stuff. But yeah, so Terraforming Mars, if you have a chance to play it if you can pick it up.
Oh yeah,
it's a great game.
There's something I want to talk about actually.
Yeah.
Because I've been thinking about when we get a game, we barely know anything about it other than just enough to know if we're going to like it or not, roughly. And then we sit down and read the rules, and we play it and learn by messing up, basically.
Right.
So we've had a few bad experiences being taught games by other people who don't know how to teach games.
Yeah,
that's true. I have to bring this up because I feel like playing the game and messing up is the best way to learn. Like, get the secondhand rules from whoever is teaching you, but if you're teaching someone how to play a game, let them make mistakes. Tell them how to play the game, but don't tell them what to do on their turn. We went to our local game store and we wanted to have a demo wall of all the games that they have, a lot of them, and there was a game called Zombicide. Mm-hmm. And so we found a group of people who already had the game, they were playing it, and we're like, this looks interesting, let's sit down and play with them. You were there, weren't you?
I don't think that's how it was.
Anyway, it was me and Morgan, my wife, and so we sat down, we joined this game because they just started a new game, and there was this guy who knew everything about the game. And so he told us the basic rules, what we can and can't do on our turn, which is fine.
Right.
And then we started the game, and every time our turn would come up, we would try to do something on our little card thing, and he would be like, you sure you want to do that? Because if it was me, let's do this, I would do this, let's just go ahead and do this. And we were just sitting here like, we wanted to do that though, we wanted to do the other thing. That's our choice here.
Yeah. And
after about 3 turns, we literally just got up and left. We just turned the cards over and just got up and left. Like, he wasn't letting us learn.
So I haven't played Zombicide, but is it like a co-op type deal?
Yeah, you're fighting the board, yeah.
So, I mean, okay, I get where he's coming from because he's wanting to win the game. But at the same time, I agree with you that you shouldn't be trying to tell people what to do because it's not the experience is not winning the game. That's not the experience of the game. The experience is experiencing the game.
Right, yeah, exactly.
It's making the mistakes and learning why you messed up and what you could have done differently.
If I don't make that mistake, I don't learn. If he makes my choices for me, but he plays my turn, that's his turn basically, and I don't learn a thing.
Yeah, and it doesn't make any fun. Like,
and that's the important part.
Person, you know?
Yeah, that's the important part of the game is making the mistakes, and it's sometimes even fun to make those mistakes. You're like, oh my god, I can't believe I did that. You know,
a good example, because most co-op games they're supposed to be hard. You're supposed to, I like the ones where you're supposed to lose most of the time because the fun is in trying to win.
Right.
It's not the fact that you sit down and get a game and you're like, I know we're gonna win this every single. That's boring.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And so, another good one is Arkham Horror.
Oh my god.
That game. I mean, we probably played it like 3 or 4 times before we won the first time, and even then, I think we played it at least maybe like 10, 12 times, and we've only won like 3 times.
But yeah,
if even.
And those were always super close.
Yeah.
Just like,
I mean, and usually they were on a little bit easier
Yeah, we haven't even played
monsters.
the hardest modes on that, but they kind of freak me out, to be honest.
So the hardest boss monster in that is Cthulhu.
Yeah,
and I think we played him once, right? Just to see what it was like.
Yeah, it didn't go well.
Yeah, and so the unfortunate thing about this game is that like sometimes shit can just happen and it goes out of control, and then
chain reaction.
Cthulhu or the monster you're facing will just wake up way before they're supposed to, and then you have to fight them. You have to drop everything and fight them, and that's your win or lose. If you beat them, you win. If you lose, I mean, you die, you lose. So
that's the whole point of the game. Like, you know the monster at the end, you know what it is. And so you know kind of what you need to do to prepare. So the whole game is you fighting them, waking up. There's certain stipulations, and also gathering resources to cushion you from all their blows that they're going to do to you.
And so I think when this happened, we were probably about like a little over an hour into the game, which is pretty far. And even with everything that we had, and we were playing, I think, with like 4 people, we had nowhere near the ammunition to take him down. Because if we got lucky and we took like him down by like maybe 2 health points, he would just come and smack the shit out of us and then regen all his health and just be like, whatever. So I think by the time that we all died, we had maybe taken at most like 4 health points out of him, and he has like, I don't know, 20 or some shit, like a ton. And yeah,
it's ridiculous.
I mean, we knew as soon as we went into that fight, we was like, we're gonna have to have perfect rolls every single time in order for us to beat this guy, because there's no way that we have enough right now. So yeah, it's really fun. And you know, they have expansions for it and stuff. I know
we don't have enough table for that though.
Yeah, it's a pretty big
it's a huge game. The base set is ginormous.
Right. So but
you still let people play games.
Yeah,
just teach them the basic rules, or learn with if you know the game. Just tell them enough to get them going and let them make mistakes. It's more fun that way, I promise. They'll come back for more.
Yeah,
that's the point.
I think the only exception to that is if you're doing course correcting in a way that if they're approaching the game in a completely wrong way, where they're going to come away with a bad experience. You know the game is good, you know it's a lot of fun, but if you know the way they're approaching it is making it extremely difficult for them, and they're just like, I don't like this game, it's not any fun, then you know maybe you should take that opportunity to be like, well, you need to stop looking at it this way, because if you look at it this way, you'll find that you have a lot more opportunity to do X and Y, and you'll be
like, well, I noticed a few turns back you did this, which is fine, but your better option might have been this. So and tell them why. Tell them, well, it's because this monster had this HP, blah blah blah. You know, the stipulations that they had that they saw.
Right. I mean, most games like that, I feel like you kind of just get the gist of the rules down and then you just play.
Yeah.
And I get that people are gonna have a lot of questions while they play, and they're gonna kind of elongate the game, like we always say. You know, however long the game is, add another like third of that time to it, or more, and or at least a half, and then you're probably going to take about that long to play with new people, or if you're new to it. I feel like them learning it as they play is better, because no one wants to sit down, especially for a game like Arkham Horror, which is very long and very complicated.
Yeah, it takes a lot to talk to someone because they'll ask how long the game takes, and you're like, 4 hours.
Yeah.
And they're like, ooh. But you're like, just trust me. Just sit down.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah. There's a lot of moving
Quit your job.
There's a lot of stuff you got to keep track of. But if you just give them the gist of what's going on, and they play, and then they're like, well, can I do this? Like, why can't I do this? What's up with this? Or before they do something, say, hey, just so you know, if you do this, this is what's going to happen. Are you okay with this? Don't tell them, don't do that thing where you're just like, I wouldn't do that. In fact, here, let's do this instead. Yeah. Just like, if it's a cooperative game, suggest things. Don't tell them what to do, because if you want it to be that way, then don't have them play. You just play them that character.
Because I feel like making a mistake and seeing the consequences of that is much more of a learning experience, and it can still be fun.
Yeah, because it's gonna
than being corrected and not getting to see that.
Yeah, it's gonna discourage the behaviors that you shouldn't have done. It's gonna reinforce the ones that you should have done. You know, having someone do it for you, hand holding, you're not gonna get anywhere. You're just gonna every time you're just gonna have to consult that player. We're like, what do you think I should do? And
right, yeah, because exactly. Because I feel like even mistakes in those kind of games aren't necessarily a bad thing overall.
Yeah, because I just go back to thinking it's not about winning the game; it's about experiencing the game.
Even when you make a mistake, you can laugh at it, and then you're like, what? Why would I do that? Oh, it's over now. It's cool. We'll just keep going.
Yeah,
I'll learn.
I mean, it's it's the same thing with a lot of stuff, you know. It's just the competitive sports, competitive gaming, whatever it is. It's not about winning unless like your job's on the line or something. You know, like professional sports players or something. Like I kind of get that winning means something, but even then, it's about, I think you enjoy it more if you just focus on the experience of doing it,
right?
Not of the end result. You know,
exactly. Yeah.
There's many football players, basketball players, soccer players that love their job as being professional sports players. But you know, you ask a lot of them, and they're gonna say it's not about winning and losing. Winning is great. Being a team is the biggest and best part of this. It's about going out there and playing football. You know, I've seen a lot of sports stars that end up coming away like not really enjoying the game that they spent half their life playing, because all that they ended up caring about in the end was like making their organization happy, trying to make sure that they win, and you know, that stuff can be stressful. But I think if you just enjoy playing it, that reflects on your play, and then you just come away with a lot better experience.
Yeah.
So, don't be a dick is the moral of the story. Just
right. Yeah.
Be cool.
Be cool.
Yeah.
Just be
so
cool.
I think that'll do it.
Yeah.
This week
we got it. Yeah.
Thank you guys for listening and joining us. You know, we'll be back again next week with another one. You know, this one ran about a little over an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, a little over an hour. Yeah.
So just kind of, I know at the beginning we kind of said that we would talk about some of the content in this channel. So right now, you know, we're just gonna kind of be doing the podcast, and then over time we're gonna be trying to figure out extra content. Like you had mentioned something about cons, right?
Yeah.
So
we eventually want to do extra content at different conventions, anime conventions, gaming conventions, anything pop culture-y that would go along with this channel. Just kind of document what goes on there and our experience with it, and talk to people there. Maybe even get interviews with some of the panelists. I know a couple people from when I did journalism at cons, so maybe I can get a hold of them.
Okay, yeah, I mean,
we can do interviews here on the podcast.
Right, yeah. So we're maybe something with that, and then as time goes on, I mean, we'll try to figure out other content as well. You know, this is very new to us and very new to me. James has been doing the slow speedrun channel for about 3-4 months now,
something like that. Yeah, and I've had other YouTube channels since before that. Just I like video editing, so
yeah. You know, just kind of stick around. You know, we'll grow over time. We'll figure things out. But yeah, we hope you enjoyed your time here, and I guess we'll see you next week.
Subscribe and stuff. So
yeah, you know, do all that good stuff.
You know what to do.
Yeah.
All right, see ya.